The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. Today's video, since it's such a hot topic for this month and actually the past 2 months, we'll be discussing Russia and Ukraine. Ever since Russia started putting 100,000 troops on the border, it's definitely been a powder keg waiting to explode. Now, I'd actually done a few videos on this before. I did a 1 minute video back on November 26th. I did a longer video on November 27th, which will be in my countries in the news playlist. And I did a video on January 4th, but I was talking more about Russia and China. I might have briefly mentioned Ukraine, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that video again. And that was, like I said, January 4th, only about 3 weeks ago. But let's look through the list of headlines since December 17th, at least, of where we're at now. On December 17th, Russia lists demands for defusing Ukraine tensions. December 28th, U.S. and Russia agreed to security talks on January 10th. January 14th, the U.S. intelligence indicate Russia preparing operation to justify invasion at Ukraine. And on the same day, there was an article saying hackers brought down government sites in Ukraine. What a coincidence. On January 18th, Secretary of State Blinken to meet Russia as U.S. pushes for more diplomacy on Ukraine. January 19th, Blinken warns Russia could attack with very little notice. January 20th, only a couple days ago, a Ukrainian official stated that Biden's answer in his speech on Wednesday gives Putin the green light to invade. And today, we've had a lot of articles about it. The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine requests staff evacuation amid war fears. The Secretary or the State Secretary Department issued order an evacuation for the U.S. Embassy. Germany is also evacuating their embassy as well in the Ukraine capital. 90 tons of U.S. military equipment arrives in Ukraine as the border tensions with Russia rises. And also, on a fun note, Germany, the so-called one of the NATO allies, actually blocked Estonia from giving military support to Ukraine, stated that they don't want their weapons to go to Ukraine, and they're also the only country that has not given direct military equipment to Ukraine. All the other countries have, the United States, Britain, and a few others, but not Germany. Makes you go, Now, the Ukraine states that the reason why Germany has not given them any equipment and blocking equipment is that they're dependent on Russian oil and kissing Putin's butt. At least that's the way I see it. And like Biden kissed Putin's butt on the pipeline situation, but he closed down our pipeline and made people lose their jobs and caused gas prices go up because of all his wanting to depend on foreign oil and not American oil? Yes. Now, also, with me saying that, there was an article on October 13th saying that Russia denies weaponizing energy in their oil. So what a coincidence there, too. That was only 3 months down the road, but it seems to be happening now. Now, on one article I read, according to the article, political advisors from Russia, Ukraine, France, and Germany would hold talks on eastern Ukraine. Britain and Russia is also set to have talks and meet, and also to make more meeting with the U.S. and Russia. But let's face it, Putin is pretty much being allowed to do what he wants. This is a mirror of the 1930s, where when Hitler invaded one place, so you can do that. Appeasement. Germany is doing it, seems to be more appeasement, and the fact that they depend on their oil from Russia, so they're keeping their mouth shut. And looks like just gonna criticize Russia, but that's about it. Like, now, you bad little boy. Go to your room, Putin. But you can still play your video games, eat dessert, watch whatever movies you want, and we just, as long as you don't go in our front room here to let us know that you're here. But you think Russia's going to stop with Ukraine? There's a British article that says that Russia wants to put a puppet government in Ukraine. get the old band back together from the Cold War. Some of them already in a security block together. Ukraine's not one of them. And would it be so fun to get the old band back together and create the USSR again? Putin was. That's ex-KGB. But hey, that's just speculation for me. And we know Biden ain't going to do nothing. He didn't do nothing with Afghanistan. The only thing he did do was ensuring that we sent 90 tons worth of military equipment to Ukraine. Once Russia plows through them, Russia now has 90 tons of U.S. equipment at their disposal, just like the Taliban had U.S. equipment in August. Ooh, was that too soon to mention? I mean, it's not even been since, let's see, September, October, November, December. Oh, not even a half a year yet. Only 5 months. So I hope that wasn't too soon to mention. And I'll see how these evacuations go, because we all saw how the evacuations for the embassies went in Afghanistan and getting Americans out of there. But hey, maybe a second time doesn't work. Maybe a third time is a charm when uh, someone else does an invasion, right? Who knows? But hey, that's just speculation in my opinion. What's your opinion about the whole subject matter? You can write in the comments, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any topics you want us to discuss or anything you want us to put out there, Brothers of Liberty 76@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. And on a personal note, which has no relation with the video, there is a boycott for Carhartt. Apparently, despite the fact that they do, make stuff for the rural areas and, fun-loving patriots, apparently they are not going to go and drop their vaccine mandate. They said just because it dropped in the Supreme Court, we're going to keep it. So let's show them what we think of that, shall we? And and once again, I am the older brother of Liberty, always reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.